Hi, everybody. It is September 5th. Sorry, September 5, 2025. All righty. We're just going to jump right on in. Hello, Rage and Sandra. Hi, guys. Barb in Ohio and Tony and Debbie Frado. Hi, guys. Hope you're all doing okay. Hanging in there. Uh, yeah. So, um, all right. Um, Amber Eyes, I'm sorry. And Denise Martinez, hi. Debbie Frado, Oracle 11, and Patricia White, Miss Blanche, hi. Um, so I guess there was a donation via Walmart, and Tony Punch needs the reference number. Yeah. Um, Otherwise, he can't pick it up. So it's in big letters in top chat. Just put it in again. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So it's not complaining. It's just a misunderstanding. Yeah. All right. I hope you guys sort it out. Um, it for sure is best to, maybe you could do it via the phone and or text. Putting the reference number on any channel in YouTube is probably not a good idea. So we're just going to jump right on into radar. Ah, yes. It's going right along the Kansas-Oklahoma border. I like this line of precipitation. And look at all of these lovely supercells that ignite. Wow. Pretty much at the same time from Tennessee into Kentucky, into Ohio and West Virginia, all at the same time. Wow, thunderstorms, man. Mother Nature, you have just, I don't know, you're a powerhouse now. You are a powerhouse. All these thunderstorms lining up in several different states at pretty much the exact same time. Look at what's happening in Nevada. Wow. Oregon. It's the weirdest weather that I have seen over the years. It just seems to be getting weirder and weirder. Like this happening here in Texas along this plasma line right here. It's springing up. They're just springing up. Now this is going east. Well, it's going, I guess, northeast. What? It's getting harder and harder to decipher what the hell is going on radar. Georgia again. Severe thunderstorms. And you've got a severe thunderstorm down here, Miami area. It's this is being pushed fast south. Yep. Okay. All right. Same old, same old. 7 active severe weather warnings for Kentucky and Tennessee. Activation. It's going on. So Estelle, Jackson, Lee, Osley in Kentucky, Logan and Simpson in Kentucky, Hickman and Lewis in Tennessee, Decatur and Hardin and Henderson in Tennessee. You also have Brithett in Kentucky, and Morgan and Powell and Wolf in Kentucky, Perry County in Tennessee, and Logan in Kentucky. Be very careful. It's severe weather is really quite severe all the time now. Severe thunderstorm watch, winds, and tornado, 10% possibility, but be careful. They can come about whenever they want. Far northeast Mississippi, central and eastern Kentucky, far northwest Alabama, extreme western Virginia, western and middle Tennessee. Whoa, that's a big area. A big area. So these, the severe thunderstorm warnings, possible tornadic activity, but they always come with tornadic activity, with large hail, hurricane winds, flash flooding. That's our severe thunderstorms now. So full gamut that you have to, be careful of. So this from 4:45 p.m. until midnight, all of those areas. And again, you have flood watches. New Mexico, does it ever stop raining in New Mexico now? I mean, really? This is quite Capitan, all the way on up. Bloomfield, right on into Colorado, Pagosa Springs, Alamosa, Durango. And also over here, you've got Utah, St. George, Cedar City flood watches, and a nice big patch of Nevada. Nice, yeah. So if you're in any of these areas where it's lovely colors, red flag warnings, Northern California, Oregon, yeah, do be careful. So the link to Weatherwise is in the chat. So do I, Sandra. So do I. Feel exhausted. Okay. So Weatherwise is in the chat, and the alert page link is in the chat, and radar is in the chat. I hope you're all paying careful attention to the weather several times a day, because they can ignite these supercells whenever they want to. And do get into a habit of checking it before you go to bed. So, what do we have? Mexico got hit really hard. San Cristobal de las Casas in fierce tornado, widespread rains.
San Cristobal de las Casas, one of the most visited cultural centers in the Mexican state of Chiapas, experienced a violent and unexpected natural disaster on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. At exactly 2 p.m., a column of swirling wind, locally known as culebras, descended from unusual cloud formations in the northern part of the city. What at first appeared to be an ordinary summer storm quickly turned into a destructive tornado that ripped through the historic streets and neighborhoods. Residents described the moment the skies darkened, the air pressure shifted, and a deafening roar signaled the arrival of chaos. Within minutes, markets, plazas, and narrow alleys that normally attracted tourists and local families were overwhelmed by the force of the cyclone. For thousands of people, the calm rhythm of daily life ended abruptly. The tornado's full impact was felt near the Jose Castillo Tielemans market, where merchants and shoppers were forced to abandon stalls as metal sheets and wooden structures were lifted into the air. Eyewitnesses recalled the terror of hearing stands collapse while crowds ran desperately for shelter. From there, the swirling winds advanced into Santo Domingo Plaza, one of the city's most iconic spaces. Traditional adobe houses, far more vulnerable than newer constructions, suffered significant damage as roof tiles and debris rained down across narrow streets. Cafes and restaurants along Miguel Hidalgo Avenue scrambled to protect their customers, dragging furniture indoors as umbrellas, chairs, and tables were hurled across the pavement. Artisans at Santo Domingo Square, who had spent years perfecting textiles, ceramics, and wood carvings, watched helplessly as their creations were scattered by the storm. Even the historic Santo Domingo church bore scars. Cracks appeared on its walls and roof tiles fell, though the main structure and artwork inside remained intact. After 15 minutes of violent winds, the city faced another blow. Heavy rain and hail followed, compounding the destruction. Damaged roofs gave way, allowing water to seep into homes and shops. Streets filled quickly, and floodwaters surged through low-lying districts. Vehicles and motorcycles were swept away near the White Bridge and Hermanos Paniagua Highway, where rescue teams had to tow more than a dozen stranded cars to safety. The city's electrical grid also collapsed under the pressure. 7 power poles were knocked down, severing thousands of meters of cable. Nearly 40% of San Cristobal plunged into darkness. Hospitals and clinics switched to generators to maintain critical services, while banks, government offices, and daily commerce came to a standstill. The dual impact of tornado winds and subsequent flooding left the community reeling. Under the coordination of the Chiapas Fire Department, a large-scale emergency operation was launched within the hour. Civil protection teams, firefighters, and the Red Cross spread across the city to search for people trapped under collapsed structures. Rescue dogs and heavy machinery were deployed, while crews worked to remove fallen trees and stabilize downed power lines. One person was confirmed injured, while thousands more were directly affected by the damage to homes and businesses. Hundreds of houses, especially those built with adobe, will require major repairs, and dozens of artisan stalls were destroyed. The city also mourned the loss of several historic trees, landmarks that had provided shade and character for generations. Officials acknowledged the serious economic impact on families dependent on tourism and traditional crafts. Yet, despite widespread damage, local leaders emphasized that early warning systems and emergency coordination prevented greater tragedy. Such events are not rare in Chiapas. At least 15 tornadoes of similar strength have been documented in the last decade.
15 in 10 years? That sounds kind of rare to me. But yeah, same old, same old. Different place, maybe different time, but same kind of destruction. Now, I hope you're all ready for food shortages that are
How
going
daily
to,
life can be when
lose 25 or 30% of the farm.
that are going to be. Why did this turn back on? Okay, you're off. Good. I think we're going to find food shortages that are coming sooner. I think we're going to be getting it in a sooner time frame that will leave an awful lot of people rather surprised.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Farmers are making a cry for help before it's too late. Countless farmers gathered to speak to representatives of Arkansas leaders to share the urgency that something needs to be done about the current state of farming. Jake Tester was at the meeting and now joins us in the studio with more. Jake.
Many farmers spoke up at the meeting, and the message was straightforward. They need help, and they need it now.
Mr. Trump, you looked at me, sir, and you said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of your love.
Farmers in crisis align way out the door of the Woods Chapel Baptist Church in Brooklyn as hundreds of farmers from not only Northeast Arkansas, but from across the state came to voice their concerns about the current state of farming. Representatives from U.S. Congressman Rick Crawford, U.S. Senator Tom Cotton, and U.S. Senator John Boozman's offices were in attendance to hear those concerns. Among those farmers in attendance was a farmer in Woodruff County, Chris King. He told me this was his 39th harvest, and he has never seen it as bad as this.
And I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
For King, the main problem starts with the fact that they can't sell for profit.
I just would like to see somebody help us get our markets back. We need our exports, and we just need to be paid for what we do. And that's not happening. And we're in real trouble.
But that is not the only issue. King's wife, Melissa King, and farmer in Biggers, Arkansas, Scott Brown, said they are struggling to afford the cost that is needed just to take care of the farm.
The prices that we're getting now are prices like they were when we were children, and what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now. I mean, the price of a combine when we were kids was, in the 20,000s, and now it's 100,000.
I farm 800 acres by myself. I can't afford any help. I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. How's the guys farming 5 and 10,000 with 20 hands and $1 million combines and $1 million drills going to make it work?
But for Brown, there is something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing: the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay, U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
So how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check program. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke. Nobody wants to lose everything. Long term, we have to have options, markets, and places to sell our product.
Now, those representatives in attendance will be taking these concerns they heard to Washington, D.C. to share with the government leaders so they can try.
And what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Nothing. Like these senators don't know that farmers are hurting, and they've been hurting for years in our country. They know full well. Let's go ahead doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. Well, here we are. And wow, thank you, Status. Oh, I'm on a different channel. Thank you, Status Quo, for keeping up on the plant explosion that they say, the officials say that everything is fine. Well, no, it's not.
Drowning in oil just 3 miles away from the exploded oil and lubricant plant in Roseland, Louisiana. We have updates for you after we've spoken to many residents.
I mean, look at this. How could things be fine? Look at this explosion. My God.
And since Smitty's Supply blew up on Friday, August 22nd, and rained toxic chemicals all over town. Hey, it's Jordan with Status Quo on the ground. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the leading independent news outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up. Here are the updates from our investigation. Several workers at Smitty's Supply shared that they were texted their layoff announcements in this ridiculous FYI group message. Nearly 450 employees are now out of a job. Some reported that they've been robbed of their severances. Bear in mind that this town's population is only 880 people, and more than half of them live in poverty. The local officials still refuse to answer any questions about the extent of the damage to the environment and to local residents.
My eyes and stuff were burning. I started coughing because of the chemicals or whatever it was.
Residents have experienced bloody noses, headaches, breathing issues, burning skin, among other health issues. Yet they're all told by the EPA and state officials, nothing to see here. It's safe to come home.
There really is no imminent danger. The sampling results indicated that the air held no danger to human health. Is the water safe to drink? Well, I know my mom told me never to drink out the ditch either, so I wouldn't advise anybody to do that, whether we've got a problem here or not.
Oh, God.
Sound familiar? Residents of Flint, Michigan? Sound familiar? Residents of East Palestine, Ohio, Conyers, Georgia, Monterey County, California, and all the rest of the cities and towns growing on our ever-expanding list of corporate sacrifice zones in the United Corporations of America? When will it end?
Two samples from Highway 40. The right one was from upstream, and the left one was from right above the booths that were collecting the oil.
Yet the daughter of one of Smitty's Supply's owners had a thoughtful message on her Facebook. There's no one to blame. Oil is everywhere, and everyone knows that. She cheerfully dropped some emojis to celebrate that there were no deaths. Well, thank you. Here's the best part. She told the townspeople to Google up cheap deals for cleaning services and find DIY cleanup tips to remove the toxic chemicals that her dad's company rains all over their houses, cars, and animals. Use your resources and simply clean it up. Why didn't they think of that? As my dearly departed grandma would say, the chutzpah of this woman.
First of all, I want to thank the president, President Trump, Administrator or Director Lee Zeldin over at EPA, and federal agencies that have helped us.
Dozens of miles around Roseland, people are seeing pollutants, death, and destruction. Somehow the EPA had the nerve to tell Roseland, Louisiana residents you could return home because there was, quote, no imminent threats.
Our air quality has always been safe. Throughout the whole event, our air quality has been safe. We're going to continue to, we're going to begin a more patterned output of information so that you guys are informed.
Mind you, this is the same guy who came out to celebrate Smitty's Supply's expansion in Roseland in 2021.
Well, Robbie Miller, our parish president, is no stranger to Smitty's in Roseland, but nevertheless, today was a knock your socks off occasion. That is looking at a big expansion. And when I tell people that They were announcing that big expansion today. They said, what else is new? In other words, they're always expanding here at Smitty's, and there's some truth in that.
Well, Ken, Smitty's being an over 50-year company here in Tangipahoa Parish in Roseland, Louisiana.
The same year, the plant got fined $250,000 for spilling oil onto the road. Several residents are already suffering from these health issues. And in my experience covering other corporate sacrifice zones, tragically, it's probably going to get worse.
Kind of reminds you of another area. Let's see. Oh, right. East Palestine. Okay. Well, that's what government officials do. They lie. They lie about the very, very important, information that you need to keep yourself healthy. When you see the fish dying in the waters, and and you hear from others in an area that they're suddenly coming down with a whole lot of symptoms, it's not fine. My God. Boy, do we need to rise up. And now a garbage truck just rolls down a road and smashes into a home.
Trash was still on fire inside the garbage truck as workers methodically pulled it off a car and away from a family's home Wednesday night.
Obviously very concerned because the front of our house is smashed in by a garbage truck, and we have a lot of damage from fire, smoke, and water.
Sally Rice and her husband said they were inside their home just before 4:30 in the afternoon when they heard what sounded like explosions.
Correct. Several.
They ran outside and saw this in their driveway and said flames were shooting up the side of the house.
And cars burning up.
On the ground, I asked how this happened. District Chief David George said 2 men were collecting garbage in the West Haven subdivision when the truck got away from them, rolled down the hill, hit a car in the driveway, and stopped just short of crashing through the home. About 30 seconds later, he said the truck erupted in flames. Fire spread to the car and charred the front of the house.
We're feeling fine because we're very grateful.
Paramedics took one of the workers to the hospital. A representative outside the house that works with the garbage company, Waste Connections, declined to comment. For hours, firefighters waited for a hazmat crew to offload fuel before a tow team could move the truck away from the home. After that, Waste Connections planned to tow the truck of smoldering trash to a dump yard and dispose of it there.
Be ready for anything. So the Fed thought it was seeing a solid jobs market. Wow. Turns out that was just an illusion. Well, I guess our economy has gotten to the point where mainstream media just can't keep ignoring that it is so in collapse. It has been collapsing for a long time, but now it's 22,000 jobs apparently created. That's it. Oof, man, we're in trouble. Oh boy. Yeah, U.S. hiring stalls with employers reluctant to expand in an economy growing increasingly erratic. Thank you, Trump. You're making America great again. Completely stagnated, experts say. Extraordinary low jobs numbers. Ominous for the economy. And yet this guy just recently said how great the economy is. So did his Treasury Secretary. Oh, and his Secretary of Commerce. It's wonderful. The best economy. No other president has had the successes that Trump has had. Wow. It's not so much that everything is collapsing around us. What is also collapsing, if we ever had it, was the care about the conditions that we are in. Hey, we need to pull together to do something. And nobody seems to be wanting to do that. Economic experts are sounding alarms over the latest jobs report showing the Trump economy added 22,000 jobs. I don't think I've ever seen a jobs report come out with such low numbers. I was actually surprised when, July and August, 75 or 88,000, when they were lying and claiming it was a much higher number. 22. Woo, boy, another weak jobs report. And their unemployment at 4.3%. No. The latest that I read was 28%. Yeah. 4.3. Who could possibly believe that? Outside of those Americans that are, with great hostility, remaining willfully ignorant in their bubble. Don't tell me the truth. I want to believe that the unemployment rate is only 4.3%. Okay. So, Trump ahead of Friday jobs report. The guy is crazy. He's crazy, okay? He's delusional. He's crazy. He says crazy things. He does crazy things. And I guess we Americans, on the whole, are just absolutely fine with it. The real numbers will be a year from now. Oh, okay. Trump said Thursday that real job numbers will come next year. Ahead of the Bureau of Labor Statistics' first jobs report since he fired its leader in response to dismal numbers in July. Well, we are talking real dismal numbers now. You're going to fire your new appointee. They come out tomorrow. The job numbers. They come out tomorrow, but the real numbers that I'm talking about are going to be whatever it is, and will be in a year from now on. Oh, he said that when, quote, the huge, beautiful places, the palaces of genius, unquote, open, job numbers will improve. He did not specify what projects he was referring to. We listen to bullshit all the time. Like, they just open their mouth, say whatever the hell they want to say, and we go along like, okay, this is our country. 'Tis of thee, sweet land of crazy. Quote, when they start opening up, I think you'll see job numbers that are going to be absolutely incredible a year from now. Quote, right now, it's a lot of construction numbers, but you're going to see job numbers like our country has never seen. Oh, something to look forward to. As we wait, more and more go off the financial cliff. His comments on the jobs report come as economists are predicting more weakening in the labor market for August. The July jobs report, when sparked Trump to fire the commissioner, BLS, showed an average of just 35,000 jobs being added to the economy per month across May and June. Now we're at 28 or 22. The president spoke to reporters while he hosted Meta CEO Zuckerberg CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, is it Pichai? Apple CEO Tim Cook, Microsoft founder Bill Gates, among others, for dinner at the White House. Yes, the elite. They show us the fabulous life that they live, the fabulous food that they eat, and very few are pissed about that. More than 40% of Americans expect to work until they die. Well, there won't be any jobs, so good luck. You're, I think, just going to die earlier than you thought. And Peter Schiff, what Trump is saying, that the world has screwed us for 40, 50 years, another bullshit lie, another outrageous lie. Who could possibly think that our country wasn't screwing anyone, but they were all screwing us? We're supposed to believe that? Why? Because we're exceptional and morally superior? We weren't screwing anyone? We screw all the time. Anyone we can, for our own benefit. Not for the ordinary American's benefit, but yeah, so another just, well, let's just listen to a few minutes.
When Donald Trump was talking about how the world has been taking advantage of us, is screwing us over, and pointing to the trade deficits as evidence of this, it's actually the other way around. We take advantage of the world. We screw over the world.
Of course we do.
Because they give us their goods that are produced at significant cost to their economy in terms of resources, land, labor, capital, that are devoted to producing real stuff that we get to enjoy. And all we do is run off dollars on a printing press, cost us nothing, and we give it to them.
That's the privilege of being the hegemon, is you get global
And that
seniorage.
is the privilege that we are about to lose. And that's what $3,500 gold tells you. The dollar is on the way out as the reserve currency.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You know, Xi and Putin and Modi all meeting along with others. What was it? The Shanghai, was it Shanghai? Cooperative, all these countries getting together. We're going to feel it, okay? We are going to feel it hard. Now, a whole lot of us are already feeling it hard. I feel badly for all of those Americans on the awake side and the still sleeping side. It's going to hurt. Millions of Americans are living in third world conditions. Don't we know it?
It's 2025, and the American middle class is dead, completely gone. And we're acting like this is fine? The country we grew up believing in doesn't exist anymore. The promise that hard work gets rewarded? Oh, that's over. Millions of Americans are living in conditions that would make third world countries feel sorry for us. The average person has been completely abandoned. Corporate overlords have squeezed every drop of wealth out of the working class and now demand we thank them for it.
Yeah.
You're expected to sacrifice your entire existence, 70, 80 hours a week, just to barely survive. This isn't politics. This is economic warfare. The numbers are depressing, and the people running this show are counting on us being too exhausted to fight back.
And that's unfortunate, but a whole lot of people, we just never thought, you know, on the whole, Americans, well, a lot of it comes down to what they care about, and a whole lot just care about their own little hide. So, you know, let's just say we got ourselves in a pickle. Americans are fleeing California Where to go, where to go.
California was once the land of dreams, between the perfect weather, booming opportunity, and a promise of the good life for families. But for many families, that dream is now turned into a nightmare between the rising cost of living, the crime that's always going up, and the political climate that leaves many Californians feeling unheard and unprotected.
All right, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave California, and here's why. I'm a father of 4. I can't even let my kids go to the corner store, any of the corner stores around here. So in California, we decided to decriminalize drug use and possession of certain amounts. And then we decriminalized lower crime like theft under $1,000.
If you live in California and you are worried about, oh, the skyrocketing rents, prices of homes, inflation, gas that still hits $7 a gallon, the immigration issue, the fact that we don't have enough police and they're extremely underfunded, the crime is out of control. They don't want to, they don't want to insure homes or watches and they don't want cars. They don't want to insure anything. Tons of people are pulling out. The extreme amount of homeless we have, the fact that they are getting increasingly dangerous, the amount of crime that just never ceases to end. If you are worried about all these things as a Californian, I have good news for you. Instead of tackling any of these issues, Gavin Newsom has now started a podcast called Politickin'.
Yeah. When the obvious becomes so obvious that it's beyond comprehension that people are still going about, their life like nothing happened, like everything is just the same, or nothing is the same anymore. Doing the same thing over and over and over again. Here we are.
I can't live in California anymore. I'm a social worker, a single mom of 3. I have a master's degree. I just got a decent job, but I can't support my family here. And the quality of life, it's not something I want to give my children. I'm currently sleeping in my parents' living room, and we live in a very dangerous area. I just don't see how our lives can improve here. Every single day we walk past gang activity, drugs, homelessness, and it's heartbreaking. And rent to live in a place like this is $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Anything in a slightly better neighborhood is over $3,000. And as a single mother, I don't know how I can afford that. Honestly, I don't know how anybody can afford that. And that's why I live in an area where there's multiple families in a 1-bedroom apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment. There's like 10 people living in a 2-bedroom, 8 people living in a 1-bedroom apartment, because no one can afford this. I've tried to live here. I've lived here most of my life. Recently, I've applied for some apartments and they require 3 times what the rent is. And that means that just to have a roof over my head, I would have to make $9,000. And I don't make that. I don't know who makes that. Aside from this, a few landlords have actually been really honest with me. They told me that after 2020, they preferred to make their housing Section 8 housing to ensure that they are always getting a payment. You either make a ton of money or you are on Section 8. I'm part of the working class, and I also don't qualify for Section 8. So in terms of housing, I'm at a lost situation.
So we're reaching out because we know there are other people out there that are just like us, that you're drowning in debt and you're killing yourselves to make ends meet.
Your bottom line, you're working your ass off, you're running as fast as you can, and at the end of the month, you have like no money to put into savings. You barely have enough to scrape by.
Forget about dinners out.
Turns into a new month, and then you got to do it all over again, month after month after month.
So, we're here because we're doing something about it, and it's been hard, but we're doing it. 2 months ago, we decided to get out of California hell because it's just getting worse and worse and worse here.
It's not getting any better.
It sucks. And what we did is we're putting our house on the market. We only have 6 days left to be out of our house. And we're lucky enough to get a motorhome, good-sized motorhome. And, we just got a loan that we promised to pay back after we sell the house.
We've been working on the inside of the house, and we just had a dumpster dropped off yesterday that we're going to off everything else that we don't need, want, donate, or can't sell.
Yeah. So far we've sold a lot of stuff. We had an estate sale because we had to buy supplies as well as keep paying our bills every month, which is ridiculous.
They keep going out.
They keep going out. So we have 6 days. We're going to move into this motorhome, and we're going to live there until our house sells, which let's all pray for a quick sale. Yeah, we live in California, kind of by default. My mom brought me here when I was really young, and all we did was work to survive. And now it's...
And the link is in the chat. Work to survive. That's the system. And it's killing people. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to post the link. I don't want to listen to this. There are so many people who are so caught in the matrix. And so the Florida Surgeon General, that's what the state position name is? He and DeSantis are going to be lifting all mandates for vaccines. Now, there's not much I can say on this subject on YouTube. It's a very good thing. Now, people are saying that they're getting rid of vaccines. No, they're not. Just the mandates. Just the mandates. And if parents want to vaccinate their children, probably without doing any research, yeah, good job. But you still can get vaccinated if you want, leaving it to the individual to decide for themselves. That's a very good thing. But you'll listen to an awful lot of people who don't think it's a good thing at all. Not at all. How dare they? Now, this is the disturbing illusion, Brian. Wow. The title of his video is, "Did Demons Just Possess Alex Jones Live on Air? He lost his mind worse than ever." Okay. I'm only going to play a few minutes. I'll post the link if you haven't seen this. People are just, they're like crazy. I mean, crazy. Lunatics. We've got a lot of lunatics out there. Got a whole lot of people. They're listening to this guy. So he's got influence over people. That's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because he's obviously, his base is walking the low road.
If you thought the last 12 months of Alex Jones was dark Alex Jones, you've seen nothing yet. I swear to God, no more filter.
Holy, when I say he loses his mind worse than you've ever seen in the title, this is just the appetizer. He's just warming up.
I'm in a total commitment against evil. I'm pouring out my guts, my soul, my family, everything I've got committed to this, and I will not have pieces of lie about me and say I'm not true. I will destroy you, scum, all of you. You. And it's scary because I'm a scary person. I can outthink and outmaneuver all these people. I guess I am the smartest. I am the best. I am the fastest. The problem is interlocking into this information is very frightening. There is no more culture. There's only war. And I commit myself to total war against Satan. And I ask God to lead God and direct me and commit me to his arms and to become a complete vessel of warfare against this operation. And I repent for all my sins. And I ask now before everyone that you lift me up to be an absolute battering ram against the enemy in God's will.
Hey, this is Brian. Welcome back to the channel. Alex Jones has responded to Owen Schroyer leaving, and
he's not happy, clearly. Okay, so Owen Schroyer did leave, and Owen Charter had like a 5-hour live stream explaining, to all of his viewers and why he left. He didn't want any kind of, like this. But he also said he was doing a live. In the earpiece, he heard Alex saying, I have someone that you need to interview or whatever. And, it just got, Owen walked off the set. So stuff was happening and he just walked off the set. So Alex says live that there was a family emergency. And Owen Troyer said, no, there was no family emergency, that he lied. Well, he's going to war with Owen now. I agree, Rods, but, people have claimed that I'm angry. Wow. All right. I can't. This Trump hosting all of these very dangerous people, dangerous to our freedom, to our health, at the White House, having this little dinner, and the red team are still rah, rah, rah. He brings in Elon Musk, creates Doge. The primary reason was to get all of the data from all of the federal agencies onto the cloud for AI. And that was pretty obvious. Elon Musk, Mr. AI, brings in a CEO for Elon Musk brings in the CEO of a cloud computing company. I can't remember his name. When the obvious becomes so obvious, that's when it gets to the point where you're like, okay, you kind of throw up your arms. You're like, we're losing, and thank you, the awake crowd, for allowing it to happen. Red team, mentally ill. You got to take a look at how you process information, how you think, because it's really pretty shitty.
Well, thanks for hosting this. I mean, this is quite a group to get together, and I think all of the companies here are just making huge investments in the country in order to build out data centers and infrastructure to power the next wave of innovation. So it's we don't often get together as the CEOs of the different companies, but it's good to see everyone.
Well, I'm in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing, and the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases.
We are all different in some ways, but we all believe in the power of technology to improve people's lives, and that is the thing that binds us all together.
To improve our lives, when we know that this technology has destroyed so many lives, that this is the bullshit that you listen to. All right. Michael Yon. I will post the link if you don't know Michael Yon. Well, click on the link and check him out. You might want to subscribe. But he posted this video.
Well, I'm in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing. And the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is that we want a doctor for everyone in Africa through AI. We want farmers to have incredible advice and kids to have a chance to learn. So the work being done by the people at this table is changing the world. It's coming fast, so it's great. We all get together and talk about how the U.S. can lead in this key area and apply it even to the poorest outside the U.S. as well as to our great citizens. So thank you for incredible leadership, including getting this group together.
And I'm approaching this as a doctor, not as a senator. I am concerned about children's health, seniors' health, all of our health. And I applaud you for joining the president in a call for radical transparency. Thank you for that. I said yesterday, I believe it, that President Trump deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed. If he had been President Obama, he would have gotten it. But because of Operation Warp Speed, forcing the federal government to come to a vaccine development within 10 months when others said it couldn't be done, we saved millions of lives globally, trillions of dollars, we reopened economies, incredible accomplishment. Mr. Secretary, do you agree with me that the president deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed?
Yeah, absolutely, Senator. That was phenomenal.
So let me ask you, but you just told Senator Bennett that the COVID vaccine killed more people than COVID.
Wait,
that was a statement.
I did not say that.
Okay, then let me ask, because you also were
Senator, I just want to make clear, I did not say that.
We'll check the record. That's a question of fact. You also said that you were also, as lead attorney for the Children's Health Defense, you engaged in multiple lawsuits attempting to restrict access to the COVID vaccine. Again, it surprises me that you think so highly of Operation Warp Speed when, as an attorney, you attempted to restrict access. But let me ask.
I'm happy to explain why.
I have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Okay.
Prize for Operation.
Do they even realize what they're saying? Do they? Okay. Nobel Peace Prize for Operation Warp Speed. Now, apparently Trump, from what I've read, is doing a review on all of the measures during the pandemic, and unbelievable that we could actually listen to this. These are, whether you like it or not, yeah, they rule you. They're so corrupt, they enhance their wealth as they destroy the economy. This is acceptable. This is acceptable to most Americans. Talk about coming out of families that are dysfunctional. You're lucky if you got to just experience the socially acceptable dysfunction instead of the real abuse and violence and whatever. But we're all dysfunctional in our country. And you can really see how it has manifested in the Americans allowing these people to destroy us. With hardly, anybody screaming, crickets, oh, crickets. Okay. Experts issue fresh blood pressure advice as heart problems surge. Those under 40s or in their 40s. Heart problems surge. But this guy surrounds himself Is there something wrong here? Red team? Oh, I love him, I love him, I love him. Oh my God. So now, Trump was an FBI informant. Okay. Yeah. House Speaker Mike Johnson says Trump was an FBI informant for Epstein. Donald Trump once doubled as a confidential informant for the FBI before he ran for office. Johnson made the comment while speaking to reporters at the U.S. Capitol on Thursday about Thomas Massey's effort to force a vote on releasing the Department of Justice's remaining evidence on convicted pedophile Epstein. When CNN congressional correspondent Manu Raju asked Johnson about Trump calling the ongoing controversy over Epstein a hoax, the speaker insisted that Trump's statement was being misconstrued. Really? Quote, I've talked with him about this many times. It's been misrepresented. Well, then maybe because he has said it previously, now he's saying it again, perhaps he should have clarified what he was saying instead of you, Mikey. Mikey likes it. I think baby boomers will get that. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. Trump's status as an FBI informant remains unconfirmed. All right, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, ma'am? You want to live in a healthy society, and this is what you get. Every day, this is what you get. And you know that you'll never see it. Never see it. Justice Department responds to hidden camera video of official talking Epstein files plan. Have you seen this? This is a Project Veritas. Well, it's not Project Veritas anymore, but NBC News, they pretty much trash O'Keefe Media, which is what it is now. So undercover, they had a Justice Department, a high-ranking Justice Department official who says that they plan on redacting all of the Republican names from the Epstein files and other stuff. Like it, everything is drama. Nothing. You know, when you have drama, you don't have truth. The two do not gel well. You know, so when you have drama, the truth is lost. It's just nowhere to be found. So everything, you know, this guy trashing O'Keefe And he's just a little nebbish thing for NBC that is, I mean, he says ridiculous stuff. But they did say, oh, it's concerning, though. It's concerning that a Department of Justice official is saying what he's saying, during. I don't even want to play it. I'm sick of this country. I'm so sick of this country, and unfortunately, it's not the country, it's the people, But hey, Trump asks supporters for $15 donations to get him into heaven. Okay. Trump sent out an email blast to his supporters begging them for donations for a cause which to many seems implausible. Quote, I want to try and get to heaven. Last year, I came millimeters from death when that bullet pierced through my skin. My triumphant return to the White House was never supposed to happen. But I believe that God saved me for one reason, to make America great again, as he destroys it every single day. Trump rambled in the email, telling his supporters they had been with him through everything, his impeachments, a rigged election, sham legal cases, and his assassination attempts. This is our moment to show the world that we will never back down, never give an inch, and never surrender in our fight to save this country. That's why I've launched a 24-hour Trump fundraising blitz, and I'm asking everyone to chip in $15 to make it one for the record books. Here's his post. The email blast was sent by Never Surrender Incorporated and has been verified by multiple sources. According to the Federal Election Commission, which enforces federal campaign financial laws, in this year alone, the corporation has raised $1,865,656. Last month, Trump told Fox and Friends, I want to try to get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. He went on to speak about how he brokered peace between Russia and Ukraine. It would be one of the reasons why he gets to the pearly gates. Well, that's Catholic, Jesuit. He didn't broker peace, but whatever. It's Trump, right? His remarks last month prompted some Christians to offer advice to the president about how to actually get to heaven. God, whoa. In a column published in Christianity Today, Russell Moore wrote, Jesus said that it is very difficult for those who are wealthy or powerful to enter his kingdom. Mark 10:25. He said that to follow him means we lose our lives in order to find them again in his life. To actually enter heaven, you have to give up that mindset of earning your way there. You have to recognize your own need for something you can't win or achieve or earn to see the way to heaven. Stop thinking of yourself as a president or a billionaire, if only for a moment. Just a moment. Go ahead, Trump. How about stop thinking of yourself so much? You can't get to heaven with the art of the deal. Can you believe what we're living? So few will get into heaven. And it's amazing, to see the amount of Christians who believe they're getting in. Yep, okay. Narrow road. This guy's insane. He's bona fide. Donate $15. Do you know how much money this guy has made since he's been in office, selling out, the presidency to make more billions? And people actually donate? Heaven is going to be empty. Pretty much, Ms. Blanche. Pretty much. But don't you think donating to billionaires is kind of crazy? At what point are people going to get that America, since he's been in office, has not been made great, and in fact, it's in sharp decline? The rapidity of decline of American life is obvious. When's the red team going to burst their bubble to recognize that that's actually what's going on? It's not just these people who are crazy. It's the American people, which you should not feel ashamed, because we grew up in a very immoral, materialistic kind of crazy culture. And that's, a whole lot become inculcated in the culture. Well, that's the work you need to do to get out of that. But man, yeah, he sold a Bible, right? He's selling Bibles. And wow, Dearborn Heights has really gone overboard. A police patch in Arabic. Now, if anybody knows Dearborn Heights or Dearborn, Michigan, that's one area of our country that has seriously been taken over by Muslims. But the police, here we go. Wow, Arabic. Doesn't seem very American. Trump ready to place more U.S. troops in Poland amid Russia threat. Wait a second. He brokered a peace deal. Oh, right. He didn't. 8,000 strong military presence in Poland. He's expanding it. A whole lot of talk and a whole lot of movement is towards that World War III. So don't be surprised if you wake up one morning and you learn, damn, it's been officially declared World War III. So yeah, and U.S. deploying 10 fighter jets to Puerto Rico for drug cartel fight. We're going all over. Okay. Are you going to be flying them into Washington, D.C.? Maybe, is it Delaware or Maryland where the Pentagon is? Yeah, because we do an awful lot of drug trafficking ourselves. Oh. Pentagon warns Venezuela after claiming 2 military aircraft flew by Navy vessel. Okie dokie. Well, tensions rise. So we blow up a drug boat, but we have no evidence that that boat had drugs. We never have evidence. And, well, was it Rubio who was asked? No, it was J.D. Vance, vice president. What legal authority did Trump have to blow up a boat? He promised the American people. That's the legal authority. He promised the American people, that he would, I don't know, fight the drug cartels. That's his legal authority. Department of Defense, which is now the Department of War. Yeah. That just happened today. Venezuela, after saying 2 of its military aircraft flew near a Navy vessel. How dare you fly near our vessels? Well, God, are we going to be starting war with Venezuela? With Trump, you never know. Hospitals are bracing for mass casualties. The link is in the chat. I'm only going to play like a minute of Neil McCoy Ward.
Tools to brace for mass casualties right across Europe. And no, this is not clickbait. This is not a joke. I wish it were untrue, but this is absolutely true. Now,
so I just put the link in. You can listen, but stuff is happening, and it's not good. So Trump rebrands Defense Department as Department of War. Ooh, boy.
Okay, there it is. And that's going to help a lot of the homeowners of our great country.
It's going to make it easier to buy a home. Oh, well, let's listen to the first couple of 1 minute, I think.
John, please.
Well, it's difficult for Americans to buy a home, particularly after the last 4 years, sir. But with the president's signature today, we're going to make it easy for people to buy a home without getting hassled. For years, their private personal information has been bought and sold in the open market, resulting in them getting innumerable phone calls and text messages. But with your signature today, we're going to put an end to that so that when Americans try to realize the American dream of owning a home, they're able to do so without being harassed.
Good job. Good.
So he's signing an executive order. This was late this afternoon. He's signing an executive order to, I guess, stop. It's not stopping. I'm going to have to read this executive order, but it's not stopping, the private information that's being sold. They're going to stop Americans getting harassed by what? Mortgage companies? This is going to make it easier to buy homes? Boy, I think we need a little bit clarification on this.
It's a great honor, John.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. And that's going to help a lot of the homeowners of our great country. John, want to hold that?
Sure.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, John, very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, Will, you go ahead.
And I'd like to leave you with this gift from a constituent back in Tennessee.
Oh, I could use that at night.
It's an American flag.
That's very nice. I like that.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. That's very nice.
Next, we have a number of executive orders for your attention, sir. From 1789 until 1947, our nation won some of its greatest military victories under the direction of a Secretary of War operating within a Department of War. Today, with this executive order, you will authorize the current Secretary of Defense and the current Department of Defense to once again embrace this great lineage and once again be named the Secretary of War and the Department of War.
So this is something we thought long and hard about. We've been talking about it for months, Pete and I, and Dan. Dan came into the fold, by the way, a great general. He headed up I wouldn't call it an attack. I'd almost call that one maybe even more than an attack. What he did with Iran, you saw the success of that operation. It was perfect. In fact, this was sent to me by the great company that makes that particular B-2 bomber. And it was flawless. It was actually flawless. They flew for 37 hours back and forth. And there wasn't a bolt that was out of condition. There wasn't an engine failure. There was no problem. It was a perfect attack, and it knocked out any possible nuclear capability for Iran, which nobody wanted to see, and we weren't going to put up with. So great job, Dan.
And he keeps lying about that because it wasn't, he didn't knock out their nuclear capability. But hey, this guy is such an outrageous liar that it is phenomenal that he's still sitting in that chair.
We've been talking about this Department of War. So we won the First World War. We won the Second World War. We won everything before that and in between. And then we decided to go woke and we changed the name to Department of Defense. So we're going Department of War. And I'd like to ask our Secretary of War to say a few words. Pete Hegseth. I think it's a much more appropriate name, especially in light of where the world is right now. We have the strongest military in the world. We have the greatest equipment in the world. We have the greatest manufacturers of equipment by far. There's nobody to even compete. And you see that with this and so many other things. The Patriots are the best. Every element of the military, we make the best by far. So Pete, I'd like to ask you and maybe Dan Raisin Kane to say a few words, please.
Mr. President, thank you. After winning a war for independence in 1789, George Washington established the War Department, and Henry Knox was his first Secretary of War. And this country won every major war after that, to include World War I and World War II. Total victory, Mr. President, as you said. Then 150 years after that, we changed the name after World War II from the Department of War to the Department of Defense in 1947. And as you pointed out, Mr. President, we haven't won a major war since, and that's not to disparage our warfighters, whether it's the Korean War, or the Vietnam War, or our generation of Iraq and Afghanistan. That's to.
Oh, God. We lost all of those wars. Well, at least they're telling the truth, right? It definitely is a Department of War. We know that. But he's saying that it was because they renamed it the Department of Defense. That's why they lost all those wars. My God. Well, yeah. This guy is on glue. Yeah, Silent Walk, you're right. Are they all on, I don't know, acid? They must be.
Recognize that this name change is not just about renaming, it's about restoring. Words matter. It's restoring, as you've guided us to, Mr. President, restoring the warrior ethos, restoring victory and clarity as an end state, restoring intentionality to the use of force. So at your direction, Mr. President, the War Department is going to fight decisively, not endless conflicts. It's going to fight to win, not to lose. We're going to go on offense, not just on defense. Maximum lethality, not tepid legality. Violent effect, not politically correct. We're going to raise up warriors, not just defenders. So this War Department, Mr. President, just like America, is back. Thank you for your leadership and your clarity. We're going to set the tone for this country. America first, peace through strength, brought to you by the War Department. We're back.
Oh, wow. So here we are, right? It is a more honest naming for sure, because that's what we do. You know, we start wars, we take over countries, and it's peace through violence.
Back. Thank you very much. Very well stated. And really, it has to do with winning. We should have won every war. We could have won every war, but we really chose to be very politically correct or wokey. And
we weren't that with Vietnam. We weren't that with the Korean War. We weren't that when we were toppling, countries or regime changing. Everything is just psychopathic, right? Article 11, absolutely, absolutely. And it's not Israel first. It is absolutely 100%. Whatever the hell we want, we're gonna get. Military pursues AI systems to suppress online dissent. Abroad. Abroad? Not here? Really? Because I think they're doing it already. Algorithms. Oh, shadow banning an awful lot of people. And doing what they do to shut up those who are telling the truth. The US military wants artificial intelligence to do what human propagandists cannot: create and spread influence campaigns at internet speed while systematically suppressing opposition voices abroad. That doesn't sound like a very good idea, but this was internal Pentagon documents, that Department of War obtained by the Intercept. It's going to operate at unprecedented scale and speed. Well, trying to silence dissent abroad, winning the hearts and minds, that's not possible anymore. All right, we're going to take a break with a very, very cute video. Oh God, am I going to get a community guideline strike for just a couple of seconds? Okay, can't play that. Raised by dogs. Wow. Come on, man, I want to play. Come on. Oh, I love you. Thank you for these treats. Aww. Come on, everybody. Aww. 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 A cat kiss. I love you. Okay, very cute. But I also got this from a subscriber. And yeah.
Come on. It's gotta go over. Here we go.
Gorilla notices
Yep, I reckon he is. Oh my goodness.
an injured bird.
Oh, he's getting a bird. Look.
Wants to take a closer look.
That bird must be hurt.
Oh my goodness. Help.
Are you videoing that?
Yep.
Wow.
It's breathing.
Yeah, it's hurt.
He's so gentle with it.
He's trying to get it. It looks like he's trying to get it to go.
It's right, it's fly. It's just to say fly away.
This might not end pretty if there's any children around. No, no. How awesome was that? Stunned.
I hope they helped the bird. Okay. Mark Passio will be doing a shadow work seminar, and I'll post the link. Very important work, you know, getting to that hidden side of you. Once you do, you'll make the world a better place. A happier place. People who speak English are more miserable than anyone else in the world. I don't think it's the language that's making us miserable, though. Could the language we speak truly impact our overall happiness? It's not the language. It is, unfortunately, how we treat one another and what we say to one another, and the indoctrination of materialism that marks success. But it's also that we're not Anglo-Saxon folks are just not family oriented like an awful lot who speak a different language. Youngsters in the English-speaking world are less content than their counterparts in Europe who are descendants of Latin language speakers. Yeah, a remarkable correlation between the decline in happiness among young people and the language spoken in the English-speaking world. It's the UK, US, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Canada have all witnessed a rise in stress levels and subsequent unhappiness among the youth. Is it because they speak English? Come on. One of the factors contributing to the discontentment among English speakers is a lack of optimism about the future and their careers. In mainland Europe, both the young and old were more likely to believe that hard work would lead to success. Well, that's the way that it used to be. No longer. Monetary rewards and status. However, this belief has dwindled. It's not a belief, it is reality. You can work as hard as you want and get nowhere now. Dwindled in the UK and other English-speaking countries, with only the older generation continuing to hold this view, because the older generation experienced it. What was previously considered a symbol of achievement and drove countless individuals in their careers has transformed into an unattainable aspiration, with diminishing numbers ever managing to purchase their own property. Is it the ownership of property that makes people happy? No. What really makes people happy is family, supportive, caring, loving family. You get an awful lot of joy with that. Trustworthy friends, connection on a soul level with people. And unfortunately, the Anglo-Saxons are, well, not so big on that. What makes the Anglo affordability crisis so damaging is it has happened in societies that use home ownership as the marker of having made it in life. In this sense, rising insecurity and stress among Anglo under 40s can be dismissed as irrational catastrophizing. If we only had families that were intact, if we only had trustworthy friends, that could lighten the load that an awful lot of individuals are carrying now. So, our materialistic societies, that doesn't bring about, it doesn't bring about happiness. It seems as if this kind of programming continues on. Watch the insanity of Trump's military DC takeover. Again, it's status quo. The link is in the chat. So he's renamed the Department of Defense to be Secretary of War, and he is also very much militarizing our country. Do you think it's just for those immigrants? I don't think so.
Or South Carolina, wherever you fucking come from. Good day, piece of shit.
Going to take our capital back. We're taking it back.
It's Jordan with Status Quo on the ground. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the leading independent news outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
All right, so this is on New York Avenue in Washington, D.C. This is a checkpoint being run by the MPD, Metropolitan Police Department, and there are about 4 what looks like federal agents.
Give you a public affair office number, and they can give you go into great detail about it if you'd like that.
Okay.
Because we
No,
can't.
it's just
We
really,
can't.
I mean, I know you guys, you're taking orders.
They'll say he was rambling. I don't ramble. I'm a really smart guy, really smart. An extremely stable genius.
Bring it. Bring it. Oh, that's what you got? That's it?
Oh, you're such a tough boy.
Get back home. Or South Carolina, wherever you fucking come from. Good day, piece of shit.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. We're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor.
What do they tell you about the record? What can you do with it? What are you allowed to do?
Self-defense. We have like a big briefing about it.
Okay.
That's what it's given to us. It's self-defense.
So what does that mean? I need to have a clearer picture of that.
I can give
So like,
you a.
is it self-defense when I come to talk to you?
No, I can. give you a public affair office number, and they can go into great detail about it if you'd like that.
Okay. No, it's just really, you know, I mean, I know you guys do take the orders.
Rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor. Going to take our capital back. We're taking it back.
It's unprecedented. It's like living under a military occupation, and it's empty, saber-rattling. It's someone trying to show his power, and the only justification he has is someone vandalizing a car. From what I hear, it's the same way one fire set in the Reichstag was enough for Hitler.
See the sky? Beautiful sky, huh? All right, well, we hit danger zone years ago, so it's apparently now he is arming another agency, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. The agents will now be allowed to arrest people for immigration violations. What does this mean? Well, those who have visas and green cards, now they can arrest them? Primary government agency in charge of issuing citizenship, visas, and green cards is forming its own police force as Trump's immigration crackdown widens beyond traditional law enforcement agencies. Visas? We already have Border Patrol, ICE, detaining people who have come into the country on a visa, and all of it legal, but hey, grab them and detain them, some for months. Now we have more armed agents out there. Where is that? Here.
Turning now to south of the border, 2 Canadian toddlers, both under the age of 4, have been held in custody by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement this year, and one of those children was held for 51 days under the age of 4. This is based on new data obtained by the Globe and Mail. Nearly 150 Canadians have been detained by ICE officers this year, so 149. That is on pace to double the number of Canadians detained when we look at the entirety of 2024. For a closer look at these detentions, I'm joined in studio by Catherine Blaisbaum with the Globe and Mail. Good morning to you.
Morning.
You know, I have 3 children. I know what they're like when they're little. I mean, thinking about the fact that these 2 children, they're little, under the age of 4 years old, held in these facilities. Who are these kids? What do we know about them? And what do we know about the conditions?
I, too, am a mom of 3, and it was horrifying reading through details about the facility where they were being held. So what we do know is that these 2 children were held for weeks. One of them held for more than 7 weeks at a facility in South Texas that is at the center of allegations of not providing adequate drinking water, mothers who can't access formula for their babies, no soap to clean their bottles, children who don't have toys, guards taking, a doll away from a little girl, no access to medical treatment or reduced access to medical treatment. So very challenging circumstances for these families, including these 2 Canadian children. We do know that both of them have been released. They were detained separately. These are 2 separate families, we understand, based on the data.
Wow. That's pretty horrible.
Both detained in May, one released a couple weeks later, and then the other one, the data showed that this person and their grown-up, along with another child, were released in mid-July.
Do you know why they were detained? Like what the reason was?
What we do know, based on the data analysis, is that they were detained with what appear to be grown-ups. We don't know if they are their mothers, but in the case of one of the children, it was a Bolivian mother. In the other, it was a Congolese woman. And it appears that they were picked up for what are known as other immigration violations. So no criminal record, but rather some other immigration violation, and they have been placed into what are described as expedited removal proceedings with a credible fear referral. So they are claiming
What
that
does that mean?
Yeah, they are claiming that if they are sent home, that they fear persecution.
Got it.
And now, we don't know what happened to them. We don't know where they are. We are actively trying to find them, they're just one of many people who are
being held right
being
now.
held,
Speaking
yeah.
of many people, how many Canadians are still in custody?
Current to the end of July, 56 Canadians were still being detained who had been arrested under the Trump administration.
Why? Do we know?
Why do we know?
Variety of reasons.
The most common reason is due to criminal charges. So under American immigration law, if you have a criminal record, even if it's something from the 80s, and it could be possession of a drug, if you are a non-U.S. resident, you are at risk of being removed from the country. And so for 70% of these Canadians, that is some version of what they are being detained for, a criminal record. For the other 30%, it could be things like an overstay of a visa, or perhaps they crossed between border crossings, sort of an irregular crossing, it's described as.
Where are they being held, these Canadians?
These Canadians are being held across, it was a lot of data analysis. Shout out to Mahima at the Globe and Mail. It was crazy. As you can see on this map, they are spread across 34 facilities in the United States, concentrated in the South. These include privately run facilities, county jails, state prisons that are not meant to hold immigration detainees, but under the Trump administration have entered into agreements with ICE to hold people like these Canadians.
What kind of action has Global Affairs Canada taken?
That's a great question, and it is entirely opaque. We have asked them time and time again, ever since a Canadian died in custody at the end of June in Miami. All that they will really say is, we are providing consular assistance. We can't tell you anything else, citing privacy concerns. They wouldn't even give us a snapshot of where these people were located, or a range of age, or anything that might give any indication of who these Canadians are. And that's why it took us going through data that was obtained through freedom of information litigation by people in the United States through litigation to figure out where the Canadians are.
Really unbelievable.
Yeah, okay. Oh boy, man. What else? ICE conducted a large-scale raid at a liquor warehouse in New Jersey, resulting in over 24 illegals arrested. Start going after their employers, maybe? They seem to be, you broke the law, so why aren't they picking up the employers?
So am I gonna get paid today?
Oh man. So breaking military deploying to Chicago for massive ICE operation. Homeland Security memorandum for the Executive Secretary of the U.S. Department of War from Andrew Whitaker, the Executive Secretary, U.S. Department of Homeland Security, getting ready to go into Chicago. Wow. All right, well. With the Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson opposing the deployment, but a whole lot of those who live in Chicago who have had to put up with an awful lot of crime. They want it. So the blue team, creates the problem, and then the people react, and then the red team comes up with the solution. Massive ice raid today in North Carolina at a fire protection equipment plant.
The sign on the road that says American made, but the feds say they believe the company has been hiring illegal immigrants. ICE says the search warrant is for aggravated identity theft. From the air, we could see tents that look like staging areas and people lined up outside of the massive complex on Kings Road. Buckeye Fire Equipment state filing says they make fire extinguishers. Their website says they supply fire suppression systems for restaurant kitchens and suppressing foam hardware. Now, I did actually speak with a woman just moments ago. She says her mother is inside. Her mother works at the facility. About 1 o'clock this afternoon, she said her mom texted her and said there is an ice raid going on here. She rushed over here. She's very concerned about her mother. She says that they are inside. The last text she got from her mom, and her mom told her that they are dividing people up into groups of 5 and checking their IDs. We are still working to learn more from.
Go get those workers. How dare they work? Moments of terror in the hearts of a car wash, the employees, but none of the employers.
Stop resisting!
Oh, God.
What started as a quiet morning at Studio City Hand Car Wash quickly escalated when unmarked vehicles pulled in and immigration agents swarmed the property.
All of a sudden, all these cars pulled up and just started pulling people. Everybody started screaming. My car is sitting there with towels on it.
My photographer and I pulled up as the raid was happening. Witnesses who spoke with us asked us not to share their names, telling us what car wash employees did after the agents jumped out of unmarked vehicles.
And I see them all run, hide behind cars, and everyone just started squirming out of here.
This witness, who's a regular at this car wash, says he thought there was an active shooter and ran into a nearby closet.
When the closet, 5 people came in with me. And when they came in, they closed the door. They're like, it's ice, please, please, please.
He says they all stayed inside until agents left.
It's honestly the saddest thing I've ever seen, like to see grown people cry and scared and think they're going to lose their families and like that.
Employees say they were caught off guard, one worker running into a nearby car during the chaos.
Yes, that was.
I'm sorry, this is not, first of all, they all are like looking like real thugs. And they terrorize people. So here's another, these people who are the ICE people, I guess, but it's like nobody identifies themselves. This is, clearly not our country. Certainly not the country I grew up in.
No. 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 Nope. Nope. No. Nope. I'm not getting out of the car. Not getting out of the car, and I'm not opening the window.
You've been following us this whole time?
I sure have. Yeah, because you tried to kidnap some people in my neighborhood. I'm not opening the car. Don't break my window, dude. You don't want to.
Is there a problem? Why are you following us?
I don't want you to kidnap my neighbors, man.
Enforcement.
I don't want you to kidnap my neighbors.
Is there a reason why you're following us?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep you from kidnapping my neighbors. I want to warn them if you show up. What's up, guys?
Is there a reason why you're following us?
I'm trying to see where you're going if you're kidnapping my neighbors.
Go ahead and leave.
Go ahead and leave, huh?
Leave.
Why?
Leave. You're blocking traffic. Leave.
I'm blocking traffic?
Leave. Okay, let's go. Oh, hold on.
What? No. Can you call these guys off? Can you call these guys off? I'm afraid of these guys. I get it.
Okay, listen, I'm not ICE. I'm Federal Protective Service.
Okay.
I'm a peace officer in the state of California.
Okay.
Can you roll down your window?
It's down as neat. I can hear you. You can hear me.
What's going on?
I followed these guys out of my neighborhood because they tried to abduct people without showing any identification. And then they pulled me over here and started drawing guns at me.
Okay.
I followed them at a very safe distance. I was not intimidating them whatsoever.
Okay, so, yeah, just stay out of their operations, all right?
I did not interfere with inner operations.
Just don't block traffic, okay?
I'm trying not to block traffic. They're the ones who stopped me.
Okay.
Thank you for diffusing this. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
sorry, no, I just pulled in here as I saw.
Nobody should be supporting this kind of behavior that these people are doing. And there are more that have, you don't know who the hell they are. So they're masked up and they're just wearing black. They have no, at least this guy, it says police or something, or ICE. There's an awful lot that you don't know who the hell they are. So when you realize that we have these people who are going all over the country now, and a whole lot, well, they just show up, and throw people in cars. Can't you see the traffickers going, all right, I think we can put on a mask and pretend that we're ICE and just kidnap people. It's very, very unsafe what we're living now. All right, 7:28. I want to thank Daniel W. very much for your donation. And yes, I already sent to Tony what you wanted me to send to Tony. I don't know if Tony realizes that he's got a donation in PayPal. But Tony, you can thank Daniel W. for it. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, an awful lot didn't want to contribute, so didn't make a dent in what you owe and the stress you're feeling, but it's something. All right, guys. So yeah, be safe. Yeah. All right. Tennessee, Kentucky, here we go. West Virginia. What the hell is going on here? I usually see this Southern California off the coast, but now we're seeing it right up here off the coast. Again, very dangerous frequencies in use, obviously. Texas, North Texas, not looking good. Let's see. 8 active for Kentucky, Tennessee, and Texas. So you got it in Grayson County in Texas, Collin and Denton County in Texas. Also Floyd, Magoffin, and Pike counties in Kentucky. Clay, Jackson, Overton, and Pickett in Tennessee. These are new counties from the start of the live. Oh boy. Macon and Smith County in Tennessee as well. The only way to change the world, change yourself and have that change manifest in your communities. Certainly we need that, in the aggregate of the individuals, but all right, it's up to you. And There you go. That's not looking good in Texas. So, and the live, you can see all of the counties. You could also click on, the link and check it out. So, a lot of people are hurting. And boy, if we all contributed, a whole lot of people could be helped. So, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it, Tony. Good. Thank you, Daniel. Tony says, thank you very much. Much appreciated. And on that note, I say thank you for showing up. I hope to see you tomorrow, and good night and good luck. Ciao, guys.